What is up? Okay. I changed the latency settings, so hopefully I won't be delayed for 5 hours chatting with you guys. I am so tired. I was training, extra pool training, getting ready for this training retreat. All these boys are coming out, they're gonna try to beat me up. This is my freaking job. So I'm getting ready for that. I overdid it. Oh, right. Oh my God, they sent out a notification this time. All right, sound test. All right. That mic's loud. Okay. All right. Let me pop out the chat. Give me a second. This is the regular stream, right? Okay. Pop the other chat. It has been a rough day. Like training in the sun in a pool, trying to be Goku and shit. It's not fun. I really think I'm too old for this shit. What did I just do? Okay, I did that right. I did it right. Here we go. Okay. This is. Excellent. Suggestions, kiss my ass. All right. Here we go. Let's do the little sound test. Hopefully my calluses are fucking dried off. Yeah, my fingers are still wet. That's not good. The enemy of guitar players is washing your hands or sitting in a fucking pool for 3 hours trying to be a ninja. Oh God. What's that? Something just beeped at me. Okay, I taped up the phone stand. Hopefully it'll stay this time, because yesterday it fell apart like 5 times. So hopefully this is gonna hold. I can actually read the chat when I'm playing, and instead of looking at the computer, 5 directions. All right. Okay. Okay. Oh, God. Alright, let's find something easy to warm up to, please, God. Gotta be something melancholy, hopeful. That looks easy. Let's try that one. Let's see what we get. Let me just chat windows over because this is taking up too much space. All right. Oh, good. It's slow. 85 BPM. Thank God. bro. Came out a little late, man. Some kicked my ass. Song. He was like, there was like a really famous song in the 90s. Everybody used to play it all the time. My God. The Bombs Up was pretty cool back in the days. I'm trying to remember the Rob Zombie sort of fucking old. What's the name of that song? I hear his voice in my head. And he even had the movie, right? God damn it. He had like some like weird like B-rated horror movie. You know, this is the third time I've heard this Asking Alexandra thing. I've never heard of them until like last week. And then I saw somebody on TikTok mention them, and then you mentioned them. I've never even I was like, when I first heard them talking about, I was like, who's Alexandria? Like the way the title of the video was, I'm like, who's this Alexandria person? And what are they asking her? I don't understand. What are they asking this bitch? Like, I had no idea what the fuck that is. Is it? All I heard was there's a lot of drama. Some fucking TikTok drama. I'm like, I don't care. Probably emo. What kind of music is this band? Is it like metal or something? Because it came off like it was kind of like some emo shit. Because the way that the people were bitching about it on TikTok, that's the only reason I ever heard of it. People were bitching, and I was like, I don't. Oh, it's metal, okay. Metal like who? Like if you were to say like what like who would they sound like? Oh God, no! Stop it! I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. As soon as I heard that name, there's no such thing as good anything Mo. You know, like in Brooklyn, there's used to be something like, anybody from New York's gonna remember this. Gotta go to Mo's, gotta go to Mo's. Models! It's like the fucking like shitty version of like a Dick's Sporting Goods. Like anything fucking Mo sucks. That's where I draw the line. Like on my top tiers of music I hate list, it's anything Mo, emo, screamo, Dumbo, country music, and then new metal. And you know what? That second place tier between new metal and country music is a real fucking hard one. I can't stand any. I can't. Like the whole half goth anorexic kids with like the sideways slick cut thing, and like they don't know if they're goth or. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's like, I can't compute. You give me agita. You're gonna give an old man agita, bro. Fucking, Unk's gonna have a fucking aneurysm. I'll check it out. I'll give it a shot. I'm just being a troll. You know what I mean? But it's very likely if it's I'm like no. If it has anything to do with I can't do it. I can't stand it. Let's find something. Let's try some Middle Eastern. Why is my desktop pinning like that? What the fuck? I can't listen to that shit right now. I'm not gonna take a copyright strike for some fucking half emo band. Fuck that. Not gonna happen, bro. Yeah, like, you know, I already got like a bunch of like, my whole YouTube studio just like copyright, like notices, but I have no strikes or anything, so I'm not taking any chances with that shit, man. What's the heaviest band you listen to? Like, what's like the heaviest shit that you actually like? Like the most disgusting, brutal thing you can think of. Like when you think of like, oh my god, the fucking world has exploded when I put that album on. What is that? I'm just curious. Like, what do you think is like the heaviest thing you've ever heard? Like the most brutal. Cannibal Corpse? Okay. Cannibal Corpse is like a level 6, maybe 6.5 to like in my world, but that's acceptable. At least Cannibal Corpse is okay. I Come Blood. I accept that. I accept that. That's a good one. You know, give them, you know, and just because they're cool, they get a 7. But like in the terms of like modern heaviness, they're probably like a 6.5 now. But back in the day, they were like level 12. Yeah. Okay. You've passed the acceptability test. You can stay. Some people would have said fucking Nirvana or something. I would have been scared. Fucking shit. Depends on what you like. I mean, I haven't really listened to music in like 15 years. I mean, so like I'm behind. So I have a couple of bands I'll listen to like when I'm working out, like, you know, Dark Funeral, like all the black metal shit, like, you know, Rotten Sound. The Rotten Sound Murder Works album is pretty fucking good. If you like, just like want to go, you know, that's a good one. Obituary Cause of Death is something you should check out just for historical purposes, you know? And real metal fans aren't going to agree with me, but if you're going to talk about like historical like metal shit, Morbid Angel's Domination, because that's the one album that was recorded in the fucking 90s, but the production will still stand up today. And I'll fight people on that shit. Morbid Angel Domination, like that fucking album, like when you listen to it, like I said, it was like I had this, I was like, oh, it sucks, man, you fucking, I'm like, I told people that, I'm like, yo, listen to this shit, I'm telling you, that's the way fucking every band's gonna want to sound. And like, to me, that was a defining moment when like all the bands try to sound like that, and then shit, you know, became more and more clean and digital, you know. And then Fear Factory came along, and they made everything fucking sound like it was recorded in a fucking computer's fucking icebox. I don't want to do this fucking Middle Eastern thing anymore. What should I play here? Oh, come on. Fucking. Is there anything in this list I haven't done yet? Atmospheric, modern. I haven't seen this one. What's all this fucking proggy shit? Metallica was trash after the Black Album. Like, that was the death of Metallica. Now they're just whatever the fuck that is. Everything after that's fucking... I can't listen to any of it. Like, the Black Album was, like, already, like, you know? And then everything afterwards, I heard, like, a couple of seconds of a song. I'm like, I don't want to hear this shit. Cradle of Filth. Fucking Cradle of Filth. Cradle of Filth's okay. Cradle of Filth's interesting. Danny Filth's a little fucking midget with the squeaky voice. They had some cool stuff. Cradle of Filth's alright. But like, if you're talking about black metal band, like in that, like there's a whole bunch of crazy shit. I mean, everybody likes Demo Border, you know, Dummy Burger. They have some cool stuff, but I don't know, some of it just sounds like, I don't know, something about it, it's not, it doesn't blast enough. You know, it's too proggy for me. But Demo Border's cool. But Emperor, you gotta listen to Emperor, you know, okay, and some about like black metal, like Judah and fucking 1349 and fucking, what else is there? Octorus is a pretty fucking interesting band. One of my favorite bands was like Eternal Mortem. I used to listen to Eternal Mortem a lot. That's a fucking good one. Yeah, check this one out. And what the fuck's the name of that Polish fucking black metal band? Oh my god. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Check that fucking band out. It's a fucking Polish band, the Polish fucking black metal band. I like them a lot. There's I couldn't spell it. Those are two fucking bands that are fucking definitely good to check out. What is this fucking proggy bullshit I'm playing? I don't fucking do this. English? I think they sing in English. They sing in English, but they're not from America. But they're fucking good bands. Sultans of Swing Jam Track, Dire Straight Style? What the fuck is that? Is this like some kind of like jazz shit? What is this? Now You Shred. Oh God, ew. Ugh. 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 Jimi Hendrix style. No, we need something. Come on, we have to go to fucking pounding power ballad. You want to get pounded? I'm trying to not go right into the crazy power metal neoclassical stuff. Do I like acoustic guitar? Not anymore. I mean, I played classical in college, but no, like, you know, I like the metal. I like the power. I like, you know, I like driving motorcycles. Like, I've only ridden a motorcycle the last fucking 15 years. I've had my motorcycle my main transportation. You know, like I like fucking vroom vroom and boom boom. Like, you know, it's just like I can't. I like going fast, and being loud. And you know, acoustic's cool and all, but it's like it's no power. Cause like, you know, acoustic guitar, grandpa guitar, is for singing folk tunes or like playing pretentious, like, you know, like, you know, you know, like I used to play because I used to like to study like Bach and all this other shit like that, but like I didn't like to play acoustic for people because like it's just not like, you know, feeling groovy, feeling me. Well, that's how I actually practiced. Like when I practice, like when I'm actually practicing, I don't play with an amp. I used to either play on an acoustic or I play on the electric with no amp. So that's how I was able to learn to play so fast and get my notes clean, because I was playing like this. Like just doing that for like years. So if like you really want to get good, don't play with the amp. Just play hearing the acoustic. I don't know if you can hear on the microphone, but that would be like. And I would, like, in my college, the fucking practice rooms are always full. So I had this one chair in the lunchroom that the whole school knew was my chair. And if I wasn't in class, I was in that spot practicing. And the professors used to walk by, all of them, as a joke. They walk by, instead of saying hi to me, they go, and that was like 2 years of my life. It was the professors walking by going, because that would just be me drilling like a motherfucker. So like, you know, as a training tool, I think the acoustic's good, but I wouldn't play it seriously. And I'm not saying that you can replace playing on the electric, because, you know, once you turn the juice on, it's a different machine. You know what I mean? Like when you have to be able to control that, like, you know, it's like an animal, like having a pit bull going, and you have to be like, calm down, baby, calm down, you know. You have to get the music that you're listening to. If you don't have an electric, it doesn't make any sense. But what I would suggest to you is get yourself, fucking like a standard Ibanez. Don't get anything fancy. Just get yourself an Ibanez with 24 frets and 2 humbuckers. That's it. Because you'll be able to play everything with that. If you get yourself like, oh yeah, a Fender or a fancy guitar, you know, you wind up pigeonholed. The fucking Ibanez is a workhorse. You get a $300 Ibanez, any of the fucking like middle range Geo looking things, and you'll be fine for years. You know what I mean? You can even play shows with it. Like, you don't need anything more than that. But I would always recommend something like in that like kind of thing. Because if you don't, you know, it's like, you know, that's the way to go. Honestly, like, you know, I've only played 7 strings. This is like, I got this 6 string because I got the Tremolo. I got a fucking great deal on this thing. But it was this last year I was planning on recording some crazy stuff and like putting out all this, like, you know, I had a couple of deals going on and I was getting ready to do the crazy stuff. So I needed a guitar to do the solos with a whammy bar. And I went to the store and they had this fucking Halo and I got a really good price. How do I sweep pick? How do I sweep pick, or how do people sweep pick? So my technique is a little crazy. So my thing is every motion that I do alternate pick has to be the same motion in my hand for sweep picking. So for me, it's like I think of it basically like I'm bowing the string at like a 15-degree angle across this harmonic point. So if I'm doing an alternate pick for say, right? But because there's another thing, there's 3 different types. So you have like alternate picking, right? I don't pick slant. I don't do anything weird with my pick. And I see all these people online now teaching you have to pick slant and do all this fucking wishy-washy shit. Don't do that. So I just turn the pick about 10 degrees, and then I follow the natural arc of my arm, which is about 5 to 10 degrees. So as I cross the strings, alternate picking, so if I'm doing an alternate pick, like something like that, I'm still crossing the string at the same like 5-degree angle. I'm trying to make sure you could see it. I don't know if you could see it on the camera. You know what I'm saying? But if you notice, like I'm not doing any of like these tilts that people do. And I also use a very, very little bit of pick. So just a natural sweep of my arc. So it's like. So you see like one's an alternate pick, one's a sweep pick, the same motion. Like you really, I don't think you should practice with a metronome when you're drilling technique. You practice with a metronome for timing. Don't practice with a metronome for technique, because it's too many things for your brain to deal with, and also you have different muscle fibers. So if you try to use a metronome and say like, oh, I'm gonna play slow to play fast, this doesn't work, because yes, there's a certain amount of mechanics that transfer from playing slow to playing fast. But you're actually using different muscle fibers when you break a certain speed. So the best way to do it is accelerando, and like basically speeding up gradually. For instance, like let's say you do like a 3-note string thing, like it's well, let's do 6, right? And then you want to get that when you like you have the motion. You start the motion real slow with just like sitting there, for instance, like you're doing that 6-note group. You do it slow to get your hands to know the motion, not to pick your fingers up, not do things stupid. So if I was like really playing in school, I wouldn't be holding I'd be like, oh, And then when you feel like you have the proper motion, obviously slowly, if you just started, you'd be like. Whatever. You do that over and over again, and then you feel comfortable with the motion starts to be, like you kind of daze off. And your mind splits, and now your motor memory starts taking over that pattern. Once it happens, you allow yourself to gradually speed up. And then you just hold that, and you kind of hypnotize yourself, and just like let yourself daze off while your motor memory picks that up. And you just kind of check to make sure you're using the right technique. And then you start speeding it up. But once you get that comfortable, then you do burst. They go back down to a position where you're comfortable again and then zone out again. Because you have to train your body separate. Once you get that down and you feel good about the technique, then you go practice timing. But if you try to practice timing while trying to program a technique and trying to, it's too many things at once. And then you wind up with a speed cap because your body, when it starts to split in that motor memory place, it wants to wave. Your body's not meant to go like this. So it's not good, you know what I mean? To use the metronome when you're training basic technique and speed. Does that make sense? Like use your metronome time to practice timing. Playing with the drummer and playing the jam tracks is practicing timing. But when you're just practicing like form and speed, just practice form and speed. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't make sense. There's too many restrictions that way. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Or am I just talking shit? If you're a guitar player, you have to learn the E minor, G major scale, like in all 7 positions. That's what you should practice. Because unlike the piano, where you have to learn 12 keys, and there's like ways of getting around it, like patterns you can learn. For, like I think like they group in like 3 to 6 patterns, and you can like move them. But the guitar is just a fucking conveyor belt. So just learn E minor, G major. If you can do E minor, G major across the neck, then you just learn to shift that whole thing up, rather than trying to learn, so it's only 7 positions. You're welcome. Oh, another thing about the sweep picking. So there's economy picking, because sweep picking, people think it's just raking. So they think this is a sweep. Yeah, that's a sweep. But this is also a sweep. That's also sweeping. Because whenever you're crossing the strings in the same direction, it's considered economy picking or sweeping. So the different way to do this, when I do that, I use circular picking. And I don't see anybody talk about this, but instead of trying to go, well, you go in a circle. I'm trying to make it big so you can see it. When I do it, it's a really small circle. So what happens is I go down, up, down, down. I can't make it big enough for you to see this, hopefully. Let's just say we're in B minor, right? There's down, I'll come back. There's up, there's down, and then down. So when I do economy picking, I'm just moving in a circle, or a triangle actually. It's like a triangle shape. But the triangle's like this big. So it looks like. Does that make sense? Yes, no? So that little circle thing gets you fast. I'm getting old, I might croak on you guys, so I'm going to give you another fucking secret that nobody knows. The major scale only has 3 patterns of guitar. You have a 1 pattern, you have a 2 pattern, and a 3 pattern. And those patterns always happen in order. Pattern 1 occurs 3 times, pattern 2 happens once, and pattern 3 happens twice. I'm sorry. So, pattern 1, pattern 2, pattern 3. Pattern 1 occurs 3 times, whenever possible. Pattern 2 occurs twice, and pattern 3 occurs twice. So, in the Ionian scale, you have pattern 1, pattern 2, pattern 3. If I had a 7-string guitar, which I normally play, that Mixolydian mode would be pattern 1. Boom, 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 and you have your pattern 3. Then we go to Dorian, end of pattern 3, pattern 1, pattern 2. Right? Phrygian is end of pattern 2, pattern 3, pattern 1. And that's like a big fucking secret that nobody knows the thing. And that's a little advanced because it's better you learn 6-note groupings. Part of my whole solo-y thing is that I look at the scales in 6-note groupings and take the 7th completely out, because the 7th, same as melodic minor or diminished or chromatics, those are all leading tones, right? So that 7th is the only job of the 7th is to make you move to 1, so you can decide when to put it in. Does that make sense? Yeah, I make my own music. Did I play my shit for you guys last time? I thought I played my shit for you. Yeah, I'll play some shit. Give me a chance to stretch my legs. I'm not on Spotify. I'll explain in a minute. So last year I was gonna start posting stuff. I have a distributor who's gonna hook me up, but I made some really I made predictions about things, and like I said, the whole industry is about to collapse, and the AIs and people thought it was crazy. And every time I tell people it's gonna happen before it happens, they think I'm fucking crazy. But I said this is gonna be a really shitty time. You know, I'm waiting for that to blow over, and I'm trying to decide what I want to do. You know, but I have like 40 tracks ready to go to be posted up, but I don't want to put my shit on Spotify. You know, when I'm shadow banned and blacklisted everywhere, I can't promote it myself, and then I'm gonna get 10 cents for a million fucking streams if I ever even get any. It's stupid. I'd rather get my website up and then direct sell like some underground goons. If I get 1,000 people to buy my shit, it's enough. I don't want to be a fucking social media fucking slave. Like, it's just stupid. It's ghetto. It's the whole system is trash. And then with the AI advancement, by next summer, bro, the world's gonna be a really different place. People are not ready. You know what I mean? It's gonna be kind of crazy. And I also don't want. I already have too much stuff here that they can train their AI on. You know, so it's like I want to make sure that. First of all, I want to make sure my shit's protected, and then I'm ready to go. And second of all, I don't want to get pigeonholed. And I'm not sure what I want to do yet. You know, like I have all like my neoclassical black metal shit. You know, I also have orchestral stuff that I do. It's like, you know, I'll show you that really fast. Yeah. Yo, have a good night, brother. Yeah, you listen to. So that's the other stuff I do. So there, I make my own musics. But right now I'm just doing fucking jam roulette for fun, because it's fucking fun. And I'm thinking, you know, maybe I should just do like some crazy like, you know, solo guitar guy thing, like fucking, what do you call it, like the fucking Invade, fucking Satriani vibe peoples do. You know? I don't know what I want to do. You know what I mean? I don't know what would be the most fun. But people, you know, since I did this jam roulette shit, people seem to like this solo-y stuff. And it's fun. It's, you know, it's easier to fucking do that. So what I might do is like get AI to make all these jam tracks and then just do solo tracks and play against the AI. I don't know. I'm almost warmed up. Oops, I broke it. I fucking broke it. What's this shit? diamond hoo-ha? I don't even know what the fuck that means. But I had a girl who had the diamond hoo-ha. Some good ass hoo-ha. That I can tell you. The diamond hoo-ha is like top grade hoo-ha. I'm down with that hoo-ha. The fuck is diamond hoo-ha? That's the most random fucking request I've had. I've had some people ask me some crazy shit. What is it? What is even... Supergrass? What the fuck is supergrass? Is that like something you smoke? You know that's illegal, right? What is it? Wait. Is supergrass one of these like weird, like blue anon uber leftist like subgenre that you know how like the crazy super liberal people go into music and they fuck it all up and they subgenreize it and they break it all apart and there's like all these little micro genres. So is it like you know like what was like the good strains of the supergrass back in the day? Maui Wowie. Nah, man, it's Port Labrador. Port Maui Wowie, Port Labrador. Right, Appa? I never even heard of that shit. I don't even know what that means. Let's see. Let's try something different fucking key. Fantasy power metal. Curious. Is supergrass a band or is supergrass a genre? Like what does that even mean? I'm not even sure what to think of that. I'm gonna go to sleep. This is bullshit. I came to hang out, and I got like a couple of my friends came to say hi, and then now I got weirdos asking me to play fucking some girl's vagina smoking grass. That doesn't make any sense. All right, I'm getting ready to go to bed. I promised I would show up. I showed up. I got some practice in. I'm going to sleep. Let's try this thing. I like this one. Call it a night. Maybe I can sell some parts for this. I like that one. We're gonna save that for another time. You want me to quit? Go to sleep? Yeah, I think we played. You're back in black? I thought it was past your bedtime. I just got some weird guy asking me to fucking play some girl's vagina smoking grass. I'm fucking done. I'm done. The cat wants me to leave. I'm getting hungry. I'll jam on this a little bit. Why not? Yeah, I want to come some parts for this. Just because you came out, hang out a little longer. Let me stretch my legs really fast. I'll do one more. Yes, Appa. Is it okay if I play one more, Appa? Do you mind? Bro, do you mind? Okay, thank you. I'm glad I got your permission. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna do this track. Actually, I want to hear it so I can get it in my head. Why is it muted? What the fuck? Oh god, I like this one. I think I'm gonna probably freaking. You know what it is? Like I played this one twice with you guys. And the first one I kind of had parts for it. Second one I jammed on it. Now it's kind of like I kind of want to play the parts I played the first time. I don't want to just jam on it. I kind of like this one, so I want to make parts for it. Try something else. Because a lot of them, they get too used to it and then they lock this part and that's not them. This is so fast when I go to sleep. Be my little C. crazy. Fuckers. What's next? Oh. That's not fast enough. I wasn't fucking stupid. Oh, I remember this one. Okay, you do this one. Fucking... would have died there. This is too slow. This is bullshit. I'll shut later. Cinematic pop. Oh, Prague. It says the opening to Naruto. Did we do this? Counting. This is fucking stupid. Come on. Fast powder. I'll be right back. let's rewind that. I don't know if anybody's still even here, but I had a fart. Sorry. Okay, let's try that again. Can you just... That was cute. I like that one. Oh God. I know this one. This is we did some at least 5 times. We're not doing matching before I go to sleep. My hands hurt too much. No. I think we did that already too. I might be on tomorrow, but that's gonna be it because I might come on tomorrow for a little while. Because Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, maybe even I'm not even sure, but I'm gonna have like people flying in to train with me, so I'm gonna be training with them, and then after that they're gonna even pass out. So the whole weekend's gonna be training, and then I think there's another group coming on Tuesday. So then I'm just gonna be all fucking jammed up. So I might come by tomorrow. I might. If I do, it's gonna be for a little while. But if not, make sure you hit the bell thing because and even then you might not get it. All right, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna eat some snacks and pass out. You're supposed to be sleeping. It's past your bedtime. And you've been trying to say I love you, gratefully presents. Catch you out, 2 kids. All right, I'll try to come tomorrow for at least a little bit because it's gonna be a while. You know, at least 4 days I'm not gonna be playing. So, all right, peace out, boys.